Unit Trust Corporation (UTC), a mutual fund in Trinidad and Tobago, has announced the signing of a joint venture agreement with GK Capital Management Limited (GK Capital), a subsidiary of Grace Kennedy (GK Limited), to offer additional investment options for Jamaican investors. UTC, in a company release, said the Jamaican market is characterized by a vibrant money market, a dynamic stock exchange, and close affiliations with U.S. financial markets via money transfers within this environment. UTC indicates that it will leverage its expertise and replicate what was accomplished in Trinidad and Tobago to provide financial hope and create wealth for Jamaican investors. Now for your market updates. In foreign exchange trading for Thursday, July 7, the US dollar sold for an average of $151.79. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $117.60. The pound sterling traded for $182.73, and the euro sold for an average of $156.10. The following reflects the movement of the JSE indices in Thursday's trading session. The JSE index advanced by 331 points to close at over 300,000 units. The junior market index declined by 8 points to close at over 4,000 units. The combined market index advanced by 232 points to close at over 300,000 units. And the All-Jamaican Composite Index advanced by 1,481 points to close at over 400,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 104 stocks, of which 40 advanced, 45 declined, and 19 traded firm. Stocks advanced for 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited, Barita Investments Limited, and Blue Power Group Limited. Stocks declined for 1834 Investments Limited, CAC 2000 Limited, and Caribbean Assurance Brokers Limited. 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited Variable Preference, Access Financial Services Limited, and AMG Packaging and Paper Company Limited traded firm. The following companies represent the overall volume leaders: Wigton Windfarm Limited Ordinary Shares and Dollar Financial Services Limited with over 2 million units, and finally JMMB Group Limited with over 1 million units. In regional stocks, in Trinidad and Tobago, Clico Investment Fund was the volume leader with over 60,000 shares, followed by Calypso Macro Index Fund with 50 shares being traded. On the Barbados Stock Exchange, Cape Shepherd and Company Limited was the volume leader with 298 shares, followed by Epley Caribbean Property Fund Value Fund with 225 shares, and Goddard Enterprises Limited with 80 shares. In international news, French workers for the state rail operator went on strike over a pay dispute. They say the rising cost of living has made it difficult to make ends meet. More than a third of rail services were down. More from Al Jazeera News.
There were fewer rail workers than usual at Paris's Gare de Lyon train station because many were on strike to demand higher wages. Staff say that they've not had a pay rise in nearly a decade, and with a rising cost of living, they're struggling financially.
We are on salaries, and like many employees, we see the cost of living going up, but our salaries don't go up, so it doesn't add up.
More than a third of France's train services were cancelled, causing disruption for some travellers at the start of the summer break.
It is annoying for us as passengers, but the right to strike is a fundamental one, and I sympathise with their demands.
With the holidays, the strike's a bit complicated, also just after COVID, but everyone has to defend their rights.
The French government says that it cannot raise people's wages, but it is planning a number of measures to help people with inflation as part of a new cost of living bill. The proposed law includes financial help for poorer households with fuel and food. President Emmanuel Macron's government no longer has a parliamentary majority and has urged the opposition not to block the bill.
We
will propose to extend the cap on gas and electricity prices, to increase income from work and to lower charges on the self-employed by tripling the upper limit of the purchasing power bonus and increase pensions and social benefits.
The rail strike is expected to last one day, but with French airport workers planning their third strike in a month later this week, it is clear that some people's travel plans may not stay on track.
In market data for oil prices rose in volatile trade but was still heading for a weekly decline as concerns over a potential recession-driven demand outweighed tight global supplies. Brent crude rose 35 cents to $105 a barrel, and West Texas Intermediate crude gained 19 cents to $102.92. And that was the business report on PBCJ. I'm Denita Rodney.